Hello, here is a quick demo video showing you how to sync data from Harmonic to Affinity using Polytomic. The first thing to set up in Polytomic is your source data model. All a data model is a list of fields from the source system of interest that you'd like to sync data from, in this case Harmonic. Now what I'll do is I'll surface some fields from one of our Harmonic saved searches. Let's click Add Model, top right, choose our source system. In this case, we'll pick Harmonic. And let's name this model My Companies. Now you get access to all the saved searches you've exposed in Harmonic. I have two over here, so I'll pick this one. And we'll wait for Harmonic to return the list of fields from the saved search, which it just did. Note, you get a list of all fields. You get an example value for every field from Harmonic itself. You get the field type for those who care about that, and we generate a human-friendly label for every field that you can overwrite. Now, I'll go down this list, and note the most actionable column here is actually this one, which is a yes-no column that ultimately decides what fields are exposed in the data model so you can sync from them. So I'll go down the list and pick data of interest here. So I'll expose the company description, the founding date. We'll expose the total funding and the last funding date, funding type, the headcount, its legal name, its country, and let's see, as a final set of fields, we'll surface name, domain, and website. And we'll click Save. And now what we've done here is we now have a model called My Companies built off a particular saved search from Harmonic that includes these fields from Harmonic. Now to wrap up this demo, let's create a sync into Affinity. We'll click Syncs, click Create Sync in the top right, and walk through this wizard by beginning with choosing our destination system. So I'll set that to Affinity. And you can sync to any object in Affinity, including your own custom lists. But for this example, we'll sync into the organization object. You get three sync types to choose from. Either you update or create records in Affinity, or only update existing records in Affinity, or create records in Affinity that don't exist. We will pick both, updating and creating. Now, the first thing to set with any sync is an identity mapping, and all this is picking a common key between the two sides, a common field, if you will. So on the left-hand side, we have all the Polytomic model fields to choose from. On the right-hand side, well, Affinity only supports one field to use as an identity, and that's the domain name. And so, given that's the unique identifier Affinity requires, we will map that to begin with. And so we'll map the domain from Harmonic to the domain name field in Affinity. And once you do this, you can now sync whatever you want from your Polytomic models. And we'll begin with company name because we have a live error from Affinity saying it's required. So let's map that. Company name maps the name in Affinity. And then we can set up whatever other mappings we'd like. We'll take the company description, move that over. We'll pick the funding total and map that to the total funding field in Affinity. We'll take the employee headcount and map that to the number of employees field. And I could go on, but I think you get the point. It's a mere field mapping exercise. We can hit continue, where you can set a schedule for the sync, and you can pick manual, where someone has to click a button to initiate a sync, or pick the continuous option, which is near real time. Anytime the data in Harmonic changes, updates are moved over, or hourly, daily, weekly, even a custom schedule. We'll pick hourly for the sake of this demo at 30 minutes on the hour. Hit continue. Verify the mappings you've just specified. If they all look good to you, just click save in the top right. And here we've now created a sync, and I can just enable the sync, which I'll do. And at this point, you just walk away. This is a sync that's on a schedule. It'll run automatically and incrementally. Instead of waiting, I could just click sync now, and so let me do that. Here we've created a sync, it's kicked it off, it's running, and that's really it. At this point, you can just comfortably walk away knowing that this will just update every hour. You can specify as many models as you want in Polytomic, whether they're coming from Harmonic saved searches, or Airtable, or Google Sheets, or other systems. And grab any fields you want from your models to create automatic syncs from.